is trying to collect that money. And she recently had a judge tell her that she can collect her money from the tour money that Chris Brown is getting with this tour with Usher, as well as some royalties. So we're going to get into that because there's some extra drama going on with that lawsuit. We also have some deaths we got to talk about. Sadly, Hayden Panettiere from countless TV shows and movies, Bring It On. She also did Nashville. She was in The Heroes and other movies and shows. She passed away sadly at the age of 36. So we're going to get into that. And everybody's been writing Neutrogena because she previously had a relationship with that business, and then they ended up parting ways when she talked about her postpartum depression. And now everybody's coming for Neutrogena because if you're going to be a product for women, you should not be persecuting women for talking about things that are related to women. So we're going to get into that and a little bit more about her passing. Sean Grayson, the officer that took the life of Sonia Massey for no reason. He feared she was going to do something, but she didn't actually do anything that would have required him to take her life. He has passed away at the age of 32 in prison. We're going to talk about that because the family is saying, hey, we don't feel like there's justice. We don't have any peace because he's no longer here. So we're going to get into that, hear about some different comments and thoughts people have on his passing. I'm going to share my own. And Michael Wright, the actor from the 5 Heartbeats, he played Eddie's song in there. He's passed away at the age of 70. He had some health stuff going on there towards the end of his life, but he left a very long, rich legacy in Hollywood. So we're going to talk a little bit about him and his passing. So get comfortable, get ready. We got a great show lined up for you. We are going into talking about Chris Brown, Chris Breezy. So he has been having a great tour out here with Usher. I have been hearing great things about this show, and it looks like so has the housekeeper. So Chris Brown had a situation where he had a former housekeeper, and this housekeeper was attacked by a dog that was on his property, and they ended up getting some injuries to their face. It's like right around in this area right here. So it looks like the dog was like really trying to get at them, and they had to have surgery and different things going on, not to mention the trauma and emotional distress from a dog attack. And I think there was a language barrier, and Chris Brown or maybe somebody else in that home was trying to let her know to be careful outside because there's dogs out there, and she didn't fully understand that and went out there and was attacked by this dog. But sadly, how it was handled after she was attacked is probably why we ended up at the point in which we are in. So allegedly, and according to what Chris Brown had testified to in this case, he did go to her and try to render aid, but he was not there. He left before the paramedics and the emergency crew got there. And he said he left because he knew that there were other people there that could take care of stuff. He just needed to go clear his mind. And I'm going to give him that. I'm sure it was a lot to take in. That was a lot going on. So I could understand where you may want to kind of separate from the situation for a little bit. But it's never a good look if somebody gets attacked on your property and you are the star, you are the name, and then you're not there when people come to kind of investigate what's going on. It just doesn't look good, even if it was for the best intentions. But he ended up not being successful in this trial. And honestly, if the dog tore up my face the way it did for that housekeeper, I would be suing as well, because that disfigurement, they're not going to look the same. Their life is not going to be the same. It wasn't a little tiny dog bite. That dog got at her face. And the judge found Chris Brown liable for $13 million. Now, I don't know nothing about that life, because I don't have anything close to $13 million. I don't even know if my whole working career I have made $13 million total. But they definitely said they must have looked at Chris's finances and said, you got it, or you can make it happen. And now that housekeeper wants to collect on that money. So we are going to get into the latest going on with this, because she did get the okay to come for the tour money and royalties. So we're gonna get into this story from TMZ, and I want to know what you guys think on it, and I'll share my thoughts on this. And stay tuned because we're also going to be talking about Hayden Panettiere and Sean Grayson, the officer who took the life of Sonia Massey. He's passed away. We're going to be talking about Michael Wright as well. We're getting into the story about Chris Brown from TMZ. Some of the money Chris Brown is pulling in from his uber successful nationwide tour with Usher could land in his former housekeeper's pockets soon. A Los Angeles judge ruled she has the right to collect her judgment from what he's bringing in on tour, TMZ has learned. So we're going to put up a poll here because I want to know what you think here. Do you think she should be able to collect the money from his tour, or should that be something he can keep separately and she's got to get it from another means? So I'm going to put this up here and I want you guys to vote and let me know what your thoughts are. Housekeeper be able to collect his tour money. And it's not going to all fit in here, so we're going to do a little abbreviation here. And then I want you guys to vote on here. So I got, yep, he lost, or no, that's his money. Let me know where you fall on here. And you should see that poll on the screen. So I want you to vote on if you think the housekeeper should be able to collect Chris Brown's tour money, or if that's his money, because he's out there dancing, shaking, sweating, taking them photos for with all of his followers, and that money is going to end up right on in the pockets of his housekeeper. So tell me what y'all think about all the work he's got to do, but you know, fair is fair, and he did lose the case. So we're going to get back into this story here from TMZ. Court docs obtained by TMZ reveal the judge presiding over Maria Avila's lawsuit granted her request to assign money from Chris gets from royalties and tour income to satisfy her $13 million judgment she won in a dog attack case against him. One thing to take away from this: the more money you have, the more you have to lose. You got to be careful on your property. You got to be careful with everything you got going on, because one lawsuit can take away so much money. Can you imagine doing all this work to build up a legacy for your family, make sure you're straight, you're good, and you lose all that money just like that? To me, it wasn't even worth it. He should have worked with her before it even got to this lawsuit level, because she might not have even came out with 13 million if they could have figured something out before needing to go to this level. But that is just such a huge amount of money. I don't know what his finances are though, because Chris Brown always seems to be busy and doing something. So it might not be too bad. We're going to get back into the story here. Chris objected to the request, but the judge apparently wasn't swayed. Unclear if Chris will ask for reconsideration or appeal the ruling. So as it stands, looks like it can go forward. Take a quick pause here. Alex or Axel Del Free Fire, welcome. Appreciate you stopping by. And it looks like so far we got people saying, yep, he lost the money, so the housekeeper should be able to collect the money. Now, when I had this up on Instagram, a lot of people on there were saying she should not be able to get his money. He works hard for it. Why does she think she should be entitled to it? So it's interesting to see the difference here. I'll keep the poll up for a little bit, see if we get any more votes. And as TMZ first reported, Chris was ordered to pay Maria the 8-figure sum after she won the lawsuit over the vicious dog attack at his LA home in 2020. The singer denied allegations of wrongdoing, but a jury found Chris liable for the attack. So he is still on the hook as it stands. And now we're going to go into, because this housekeeper keeps trying to throw salt on the wound here, and she brought up what went on between Chris Brown and Rihanna, and when they had that situation back in the day. So we're going to get on to they're talking about here. Before we do so, welcome to Aries Rose TV. As you come in, please like the video. It's a free way to support, and it goes a long way. It lets YouTube know that we are here. It helps get out more followers. We are on the road to monetization before they change those rules starting February 1st. So please come out and support the lives and watch the videos. I really appreciate everybody who's come out and helped build this channel up. And looking forward to many, many more great shows and lots of cool things happening for the rest of this year. Now let's get into this from TMZ that this housekeeper is trying to drag him over this Rihanna case. So she just can't take the 13 million and the fact the judge said she can collect it on the tour. She got to add a little bit more salt up in there. Let's get into this story. Chris Brown's ex-housekeeper, and we know that now because if she got 13 million, he sure ain't gonna be messing with you no more. Ex-housekeeper Maria Avila is scoffing at the singer's plea for a new trial over the alleged dog attack that left her with serious injuries, and she's bringing up his past. I know Chris does not want people to keep going back to that. He feels like, I apologize. I've addressed that. That was years ago. I'm at a different place in my life. He's a father now. He has moved on, and all of that is true. But for some people, that is where it starts and it stops, and you won't ever be able to get past that. And some people won't ever be able to move past that. And I really have to say, to each their own, because you can't really tell someone how to feel about that particular situation. If they don't like you putting your hands on women, you might just not have some fans for life. Ask Ike Turner. Once that story came out, what's love got to do with it? If you did like Ike, you didn't like him after you saw that. Whether it was all completely true or Hollywood dramatization in there or not, he took a hit from that image, and I think it's going to be one of those things that Chris Brown is going to be stuck with for the rest of his life. And let's get back into this one. According to the court docs obtained by TMZ, Maria fired back at Chris's claim that the jury awarded her $13 million in damages was biased due to the judge allowing them to hear about his criminal past, namely his arrest for his situation, that physical altercation with Rihanna. Chris claimed it turned the jury against him and allowed them to hear things that had nothing to do with the case. So I can understand if he's feeling like, what does Rihanna have to do with what was happening in 2020 at my house with a dog attack? But probably from the perspective of the housekeeper and her legal team, they wanted to bring up about violence being a part of it, or situations happening with this person where somebody is hurt. But I can kind of respect where he's coming from with that. Didn't really have anything to do with this. I could see if Chris Brown had personally done something to the housekeeper, that then make the Rihanna situation maybe relevant. But I think I'll kind of give him that. Maybe that might not have been something that should have been admitted in, but I guess the judge allowed it. We're going to get back into the story. Maria claimed that the court fully appreciated and considered the fact that the Rihanna incident happened around 16 years ago. It was 16 years ago. That's crazy. And let's see, Linder Tube. I don't know what nonsense you're talking about, but I know it doesn't matter. Then why did you come on to the live? That doesn't make sense. Did you not see the title? If you don't find it interesting, please don't stop by. There's plenty of channels on YouTube. Hope you find something you like. And we're going to keep it moving for those of you who know why you came in here and want to hear the mess, because that's what we do here. And let's see. And that happened around 16 years ago, and noted the judge excused many potential jurors who said they could not set aside their views of that incident and give Chris a fair trial. So at least they attempted to do right by him that way. In a separate filing, a lawyer for Maria's sister, Patricia, who also worked as Chris's housekeeper, said, quote, if Chris Brown did not want the public to know about the incident, he should not have committed a felony in the first place, end quote. Woo, there it looks like there is no love lost there for how they are coming at each other. The judge has yet to rule on Chris's request for a new trial, but he did previously sign off on Maria being able to collect a cut of the singer's tour profits and other sources of his music-related income until the debt is resolved. So we'll be following this situation here. We'll see if she gets any money, if she's able to successfully get any money from his tour. So you'll get your updates here on Aries Rose TV. Thank you for taking the poll. I'm ending it. We're going to try to end it. There we go. And now we're going to move on here to Hayden Panettiere. So this one really hurt my heart when I heard it. She is one of those little girls that I saw grow up in the movie. So to see that flash across my notifications that she passed away, I had to do a double take because I was just in complete shock to see that come up, because I didn't think there was anything going on where, you know, she could be potentially losing her life, especially at 36 years old. So it really hurt me because I was like, man, the closer they are to your age, the more you start thinking about your own mortality and what's going on in your life. And the fact that she was a mom and has a young child, that was just super sad to me, because her child will not get to grow up and have her mom physically there to guide her, get advice from. She'll have to hear about her from other people, or hear from other people, your mom would have wanted you to do this, or your mom would have reacted this way. And it's just not the same as having them there. And this one was particularly sensitive to me because my children lost their father last year, and they are young, and they're going to have to go the whole rest of their life with, as they get older, probably faded memories of their father, and they'll only know him through pictures or stories from other people. And that was super crushing to me, and it is still something that I'm learning to deal with because it's never expected. And I just don't feel like we're even at an age where we should be dealing with that. It's one thing when you're in your 70s, 80s, and you're at the end of your life. It's another thing when you're not at that point and you lose people. So her particular passing was personal to me because I saw a lot of parallels in my own life. And there's so far not anything that has come out about her cause of death, but there's been, you know, some speculation because she had some issues with drinking and substances, and that could have potentially played a part. I guess there was some Narcan that was found by her in the apartment that she was in, and that's typically used if there's some type of situation with substances and you may need to try to revive someone, is the context and that I know that to be used. So, and there's, you know, some questions because she was there with her estranged boyfriend. So they have a history together, and I'm not going to really judge their relationship because everybody's got one, I guess, toxic relationship in their life, something that was not good for maybe the two of you, and you had a hard time breaking away from each other because for whatever reason you're drawn to each other and have a hard time not being around each other. I've had my own situations with that, so I'm not going to judge them for having a hard time for staying away from each other. Everybody's got their thing, and they're adults, so you make your own choices. But they were together, and, you know, I guess he's maybe not the greatest person, and they had some situations with DV, and if there's substances involved, that definitely makes sense because that's going to alter your brain chemistry. It's going to alter your behavior. So, and if you're both on it, that's just a volatile situation waiting to happen. Not that that makes it okay, but it does explain why those things went on. But for whatever it's worth, I'm sure there was something in between them, or what they considered to be love, because they said that they had quietly reconnected, but because it wasn't good for her public image due to their DV situations and all of that, they didn't want it to be kind of out there. And it's a little bit sad when people have to sneak around because you don't want the judgments, or you don't want to lose opportunities because of that. And who knows, maybe this might have been different if they didn't have to sneak around, but that wasn't the case here. So we're going to see what was going on with her passing, and lots has come out since. And we're also going to talk about Neutrogena that's getting theirs. They ended up breaking off the relationship that they had working with Hayden after she started talking about her different issues with postpartum depression. And that's really sad. I did not know that Neutrogena stopped working with her after that. And it's really weird because Neutrogena is geared towards women. Anybody can use it, but that is advertising for women. That's why you got her. And to tell someone you can't be our spokesperson for talking about a very real situation that they experience that other women can relate to is crazy to me when that is your audience. That's like punishing a woman for talking about her period. It may not happen to everyone, but it happens. And to talk about that is okay. I don't think we should be hiding that, because then you get situations like Lindsay Clancy, who I'm going to get into her, or Lakin Snelling. That type of stuff boils my blood when these moms do stuff to their children, but they have real issues and they need help. And it's a situation people shouldn't have to hide or be ashamed to talk about. So the fact that Neutrogena was doing that, it's making me look at them sideways. And I'm glad that they're getting the energy that they're getting. Because if you are going to be promoting a product towards a certain group of people, you better be sensitive to the issues that happen to them, and not knocking people because they aren't perfect or what you deem they should be or able to speak about. As long as she wasn't talking about harming her child, then I don't think there was anything wrong with speaking about your own personal issue that you went through on it. And let's see here a little bit about what was going on that we know of with her passing. And this is reporting from TMZ. So this is a initial. Hayden Panettiere, best known for her roles in Heroes and Nashville, has passed away at 36. And let me know which show. We're going to do a poll here for her. And which show or movie did you like of hers? And let's see how many I can get in here. I'm going to do Remember the Titans, because that was my favorite movie. I didn't realize that was her in there. And let's do Heroes, because that was a really great show. Let's see, Nashville. And I'm going to bring it on. I think it was Bring It On 2. All right, let me know which one of these that you liked for Hayden Panettiere. And you should see that poll on your screen. Pick which one show or movie that you liked on there for her. And then we're going to get back into this article on her passing. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ Hayden passed away earlier on Sunday. This was a little bit ago. We're told she and her off-again boyfriend, Brian Hinkerson, flew from Los Angeles to the South on Saturday. Sources tell us Brian's family is aware. Quote, "It is with profound sadness that we share the tragic passing of our beloved Hayden. She was an incredible light and a force of nature who brought immeasurable love and joy to all who knew her and to the millions who watched her on screen," end quote. Her rep said in a statement to ABC News. Hayden became a household name as a child actress before landing her breakout role as the cheerleader Claire Bennett in NBC's Heroes, which is what I most remember her from. I really liked the show Heroes when that was on. Take a quick pause for comments. Renee Adams, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate that. As you come in, make sure you like the video. Let me know you are here by leaving a comment so I can give you a shout out for stopping by. We're going to be talking about Michael Wright, actor from The Five Heartbeats, who passed away recently. So stay tuned. We still have more show for you today. We're going to get back into this story from about Hayden Panettiere's passing. Hayden got an early career boost as a child actress with her role as Cheryl Yost in the 2000 sports drama Remember the Titans. I can't believe that came out in 2000. That was 26 years ago. That's wild. When she appeared alongside Denzel Washington and helped establish herself as a young Hollywood talent. She was a very beautiful girl. Hayden's personal life was often the subject of intense public attention, and she became increasingly open about her struggles and recovery in recent years, releasing her memoir, This Is Me, A Reckoning, in which she reflected on her childhood fame, motherhood, mental health, and loss of her younger brother, Jansen Panettiere. Jansen died in 2023 at the age of 28. And from what I have been hearing reportedly, Hayden really had a hard time dealing with the passing of her brother. And that makes sense to me. When it's unexpected and it's somebody that you're close to, death can be a very hard thing to deal with. People think time makes it better, but you just learn how to deal with it and you accept it because you have to, not necessarily because you want to. And for some people, depending on what that bond is, that loss can be very profound and traumatic, and it has an impact on how you live your life, or whether or not you even want to live life, to be honest with you. So it's definitely a strong emotion. It's a very huge life-changing event. So it can be triggering, especially for people who have issues already. And let's see, it says Hayden Panettiere spoke lovingly about her daughter in one of her final interviews. She had planned to go spend her birthday with her, which would have been on August 21st, had the good Lord saw fit for her to still be here. But sadly, she did not. But we're going to see what she had to say about her daughter, because these are going to be some of the last words that her daughter will have to remember her mom and hear her mom speak about her. Oh, it's just so heartbreaking to say that out loud. Thank you to everybody who's voted. We're going to keep this poll up. Let me know what show or movie that you liked of Hayden. This is by all means not a full list, but these were just a few of the popular shows, and I'm loving the Bring It On. That was where she first came on my radar, doing that crumping. Oh, that scene will forever live in my mind rent free. I think they called her Malibu Barbie in there. Let me know if I'm right in the comments if you've seen that. That was a very fun time. And let's see what Hayden had to say about her daughter. This is an article from TMZ. Hayden Panettiere spoke lovingly about her daughter in one of her final interviews, hoping her child would someday understand they're many years apart. The actress opened up to Parenting Magazine Momme in July, just weeks before her death, recalling the traumatic birth of now 11-year-old Kaya and the painful custody decision that followed. And the father of her daughter is who has custody, and he had custody before she passed away because she felt like that was in the best interest of her child. And I completely respect that. If you have things going on in your life that you can't be the parent that you need to be, it is best to make sure the parent that is the children are with the parent that is able to provide for them and be what they need them to be. So I completely respect her for doing that, and my heart goes out to her family and anybody who is impacted by her loss, because she was such a bright light, and it definitely shocked a lot of Hollywood. I've seen a lot of people that have been talking about her, and in particular, she was well liked in the Black community, and she is remembered very fondly. And I'm sure a lot of that had to do with Bring It On, and she is definitely a moment in time. And watching someone grow up, you already have an affinity for them when you watch them grow up in front of you. So she will always be remembered very lovingly and very respectfully, given everything that went on in her life. Let's see what Hollywood had to say as a response to her passing. Hayden Panettiere's death sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Several of her former co-stars are sharing reactions, and it's emotional. Friends and fans flooded social media with messages, including several actors from the Scream franchise. Hayden's a fan favorite in the slasher flicks. As we told you, Hayden was found deceased inside a South Carolina residence Sunday. An emergency call was made for an unresponsive female in cardiac arrest. Police say there was no initial signs of foul play, and the circumstances surrounding Hayden's death did not appear to be suspicious as of right now. Viola Davis called the actress with an old wise soul with such a deep heart. The two having worked together in the 2016 film Custody. Let me know if you saw that film. I don't think I saw that. Jeremy Renner said, God bless you and your family. After the 911 call came in, the fire department and coroner's office raced to the scene, and photos show the emergency response, fire engines, ambulance, and a coroner's vehicle. Ah, crushing. Crushing, crushing, crushing. And now let's get into Neutrogena getting their ASS handed to them for how they were towards Hayden, and now they have to address that controversy because people were on their neck, and I love that. I love that. Hold them accountable. If you're making millions, billions of people, hold them accountable. Let's get into this article from TMZ. Neutrogena took all it could take and finally had to scrub away all the hate the company was getting in the wake of Hayden Panettiere's death and her history with the skincare brand. Don't feel sorry for you at all. Neutrogena broke its silence in a Thursday post on social media saying the company was deeply saddened by her death and, quote, understand that we made her feel unsupported. The company has said they're making a significant investment, we don't know what that is, would be made to a healthcare partner, thereby giving more help and support to women suffering from postpartum. But a woman who was suffering from it, you decided to end her job, even though you knew she had a child, family to take care of. You let her go, but you're going to make a significant investment. We'll see how that goes. And if you don't know, Hayden was the face of Neutrogena for several years, and that all came to a screeching halt after she talked about her postpartum depression back in 2015 while a guest on Live with Kelly and Michael. The company allegedly wanted to boot her then and there after she walked off the stage, but Hayden said her agent saved her job in the moment, letting them know that that's illegal. But when her contract came up, they didn't renew it. So that's how they got around that, because they would have had a sweet lawsuit right at their doorstep had they tried to pull that before. And it says Neutrogena is finally speaking out, and it will be interesting to see if this satisfies Hayden fans or if it's too little too late. For me, it's too little too late, and I don't even really mess with them like that anyway, but that rubbed me the wrong way. So I don't think I will be particularly supporting them, at least not anytime soon. And let's see, we got everybody saying bring it on too. That's the movie they most remember her for, and I am in agreement with you. And now we are going to slide on over to Sean Grayson. And this guy, he took the life of Sonia Massey for absolutely no reason, because he thought she was going to spill or throw boiling hot water at him, even though she didn't do anything that would have made you think that. But he was jittery and an anxious officer, probably not a good position for him. But unfortunately, that ended up clashing and somebody's life was taken. So Sonia had called the police in July of 2024. And you can check out a short on my channel about this. She had called the police because she said somebody was outside. I think she thought somebody was like lurking around. And I don't know whether or not she had some mental health things going on, but there were some questions about that. But nothing like too pronounced in the video, because there is body cam of this that would make you go, their behavior was so erratic that you would probably be in fear. There was nothing like that there. But she had water that was boiling on the stove, because she was obviously living her life before the officers came there. And according to her family, they had told her to make some tea to relax, so that's why the water was boiling on the stove. And so I think one of the officers, because there was 2 officers in her home, and you could see the body cam footage of this, I'm sure, here on YouTube. There were 2 officers in her home, and I think one of them said, do you want to go get that? Because it started to boil. So, we don't need like a fire or something happening here. And so she went over to go deal with that hot water, turn it off or whatever. And this officer, Grayson, said something to her about it. And so she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, or something to that effect, that like gave off the vibe that there was something about him that was not sitting well with her spirit. And boy, was that an apt comment. And no sooner than she had said that, the pow pows go off and she loses her life right in her kitchen. And he was like, he thought she was gonna throw the hot water on him. So that was his response, and she lost her life. And she was a mom. She has a family. She should be alive today. There's no reason why you calling the cops and just getting boiling water off of your stove should end in you losing your life in your own home at that matter. But this is what happens when you have anxious, jittery people who just pop at their own shadow, who have access to weapons, because you can't pull back a bullet, unfortunately. And once it's done its damage, you can't reverse that. So sadly, she lost her life. But on one end, there was justice because he was found guilty. But what level of justice was received, it's going to be individual on how you feel about this, because it's being reported he has passed away at the age of 32. He's gone on to the upper or lower room, wherever the good Lord feels he belongs for the life he led and the things he's done. I'll keep my personal opinion to myself of where I think he's going to be going. But he's no longer on this earth, so says his lawyer. So we are going to get into this situation here and see the comment from from Sonia Massey's family on his passing. And as you come in, like the video, let me know you are here by leaving a comment. I want to give you a shout out for stopping by. If you want to support your creator, if you enjoy the content that you are getting on this page, all support is greatly appreciated. This is the Cash App. We will give a shout out to anybody who does any type of support. No amount is too small. And we will give you a shout out on the community post to make sure that you get a shout out on the live. So we really appreciate you helping us to bring you all this great content. Make sure we can keep you up to date on everything that is going on. And now we are going to get into what was going on with Sean Grayson's passing. And this is from TMZ. Sean Grayson, the former Illinois sheriff's deputy convicted of the fatal shooting of Sonia Massey, has passed away. Grayson's attorney Daniel Foltz tells TMZ Sean died around noon Sunday Central Time. Foltz declined to provide any additional details. Sources close to the situation tell us the root cause of the death was colon cancer, which he had stage 4 cancer. And Grayson was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer in 2023. His attorneys later said the disease had progressed to stage 4 and spread to his liver, lungs, and rectum. In July, the Illinois Prisoner Review Board denied Grayson's request for medical release. Grayson was about 6 months into a 20-year sentence for second-degree murder after he was convicted in 2024. After he was convicted in the 2024 shooting of Massey, a 36-year-old woman who called 911 to report a prowler at her Illinois home. And now we're going to do a poll here because I want to know what you think. Do you think justice was served in this situation? Or do you think that the family was deprived justice? And I'm going to go over their statement on his passing shortly. And then we're going to be talking about Michael Wright, the actor from the 5 Heartbeats. He passed away recently. So we're going to get into a little bit about what was going on with him. So we have more show for you tonight. I'm going to put this poll up. Justice was served in the situation with Sonia Massey. And I really like to get your opinion on that. And yes, the Lord works in mysterious ways. And then I'm going to just flat out no. And I want you guys to let me know what you think here in this particular situation. Do you think justice was served with Sonia Massey with his passing? The fact that he did spend some time in prison, however brief it was, and he was convicted. So, I mean, there's that. But he didn't really serve much of the 20-year sentence. But depending on how you look at it, maybe there's justice in the fact that he is not going to be here anymore, just like she wasn't able to be here anymore and continue to live her life and be here for her child and her family. So let me know what you think on this poll. We're going to get back into the story, and then I'll let you know what I think here after we go over the family, Sonia Massey's family statement. The shooting happened shortly after deputies arrived at Massey's home and was captured on body camera video. The case sparked nationwide outrage, protests, and calls for accountability. During his trial, Grayson testified that Massey picked up a pot of boiling water, causing him to back away. And this you can see on the body cam video. He said he believed she was going to throw it after him after she told him, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." That tells me you clearly haven't been to church too much, because that would not, if I heard that, that would not have made me think, oh, you're going to throw hot water on me. I'd be like, wait, what kind of energy am I giving here if you're rebuking me? And Grayson said he interpreted the statement as a threat. If you're religious, you may say, did that disturb some type of spirit in you that is not holy to be called out? I did see it was a live or a video a little bit after this situation had happened initially, and it came out, and there was a pastor that was talking about, and they said, look, I don't normally come on here and talk about any of these types of things. That is not my thing. But that whole "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus" right before her life was taken by this person, like, if you're into that, there's something there. That could mean something to you, and that definitely caught my attention. Like, why were you so disturbed by that, and why did you take that as a threat? If you're in the church, some would say that's because your spirit wasn't right, and that it wasn't sitting right with you. It's a very unfortunate situation all the way around. It's unfortunate she lost her life, everything that happened in between. I don't think it's one of those situations where anybody can say that there's a winner in this at all. And there is some solace that she did get justice, and that wasn't denied while he was alive. But the fact he won't be able to serve out that whole sentence, I think it's just one of those things. That was just a situation that I don't know if there's anything that could be done that would make it feel like, okay, we got the level of justice, or I feel like we're even. I just don't know if there's anything that could make it feel right when somebody loses their life, because there's nothing you can do to bring them back. But let's get into the family statement that they had about his passing. And this is reporting from TMZ. Sonia Massey's family speaking out after Sean Grayson's death. They feel justice wasn't served and wish Sonia's the leader had spent more time behind bars. Sonia's cousin, Sante Massey, tells TMZ the family was devastated and frustrated. They weren't notified directly and had to learn about Grayson's death online. Grayson is the former Illinois sheriff's deputy who powwowed and took the life of Sonia Massey after she called 911 in July 2024 to report someone lurking outside her home. Sante says she gathered Sonia's mother, son, and daughter to tell them, but they didn't initially believe him, telling us, quote, they want to see his body, end quote. As we previously reported, Grayson's attorney, Daniel Fult, tells us his client died Sunday while serving a 20-year sentence for second-degree murder. And he only spent 6 months in prison total before his passing. Sante tells TMZ, none of us are okay. Sonia's cousin says the family has struggled to get information since the trial. I'm not surprised. In terms of Grayson's dying just months into the sentence, Sante tells us, quote, this is not what justice looks like to us. I don't think any Black American can achieve true justice. I think we got as good as we could get, end quote. And they wanted him to serve the full sentence, but sometimes those things are outside of our control, and the good Lord said, nope, if he is truly gone, God said that wasn't meant to be, and he's the ultimate judge, jury, and executioner, so whatever fate he was going to be facing, that is now where he is. So let me know if you think justice was served here in this Sonia Massey case. Gonna leave that up here for just a little bit, and let me know your thoughts on this. Any feelings that you have on this particular case when this was first happening. It was really sad to me that somebody had to lose their life, and I just don't know sometimes if people who go into this line of work to be officers realize the amount of control and self-discipline it takes. I'm sure there's some officers that probably never discharge a gun their whole entire career. And then there's some that you do it once and you become a national headline and you're the poster child for why people feel like policing isn't being done right. So I know it's a delicate balance, and you're dealing with people who want to make sure that they can come home at night, and they're in scary situations sometimes, and they don't always know because people can change on the drop of a dime. But that situation in that body cam video I saw, that should not have resulted in her losing her life. I just did not feel that there was a level of danger in that whole situation that made it okay for his response. And I do think justice was served in the fact that he was convicted, and if God didn't see it fit for him to complete his sentence here on earth, then there's not much we can do about that. But she was given some type of justice, as much as could be possible while she was here, and I think that's really all you can ask for at the end of the day, because we cannot control who is here and who is not here when you're not doing something to cause that. And that decision was beyond the family or how anybody else felt about it. And now we are going to go on to, because we didn't get any on the poll, but we're going to move on here to Michael Wright. And he was Eddie song in the Five Heartbeats, and that was kind of like, I think it was loosely based on the Temptations, but it had that kind of vibe of a 60s black singing group, like 50s 60s black singing group, kind of had like that Motown feel to it. And it was a Robert Townsend movie, and it was huge when it came out in 1991. It was a classic. Everybody loved that movie, and this gentleman did his thing as Eddie Song in that movie, and he made it a very memorable movie that people talk about or quote lines from to this day. And sadly, he's passed away at the age of 70. His family said he passed away from a heart failure coupled with a rare neurological disease. He was 70 years old. So we're going to get into a little bit about this gentleman and his passing. He had a 5-decade long career in Hollywood. And I didn't realize he had been around that long. He was just one of those guys that you'd see in movies. You go, oh, it's that guy. I didn't realize it had been that long. So that's a testament to him being solid, stable, consistent, and always delivering, that you can have that type of career in Hollywood, because not everybody lasts that long, and 5 decades is an absolute blessing. Absolute blessing. So let's get into this article from TMZ. I gotta take a quick drink here. And let me know if you're liking these messy Mondays. If you have stories or things that you would like me to cover, you can leave that comment here, or you can let me know on the communities tab. If you are a subscriber to Aries Rose TV, you can leave me a message there, and I'll definitely follow up with you. I post on the communities tab daily, so check there. And also check us out on Instagram, Aries Rose TV. Our page is growing. I'm starting to get some traction over there, so come and join us on Instagram, another place where you can get caught up on your information, find out what's going on. We do contests over there. I'm doing a contest on my Instagram right now where you can win a trucker's hat for the movie Mutiny. So go and check it out. It's going to be a limited time post up there, but we're doing a giveaway for trucker's hat for the movie Mutiny. So go check that out on my Instagram. And you can find that link in the description for this video. You can get it off of my LinkedIn, or so you can get it off of my link tree. And now I'm going to get into the Article from TMZ about the passing of Michael Wright. Actor Michael Wright, best known for his roles in Sugar Hill and The Five Heartbeats, has died in California, according to his family. His family issued a statement to TMZ saying Wright died Wednesday in Los Angeles after he suffered heart failure coupled with complications from a rare degenerative neurological disease. That name is some I can't even pronounce, so I'm not even going to try to do it. The actor was born in New York City in 1956. Wright spent his life devoted to acting with breakthrough roles in 1979 movie The Wanderers and the 1983 Robert Altman film Streamers. Wright also played Victor Duncan in 1987 comedy flick The Principal with Jim Belushi and Louis Gossett Jr. Then Wright starred in perhaps his most memorable role as Eddie King Jr. And let me know if you remember him from the Five Heartbeats. Leave a heart emoji in the comments if you remember him from the Five Heartbeats movie. The talented yet troubled lead singer in the 1991 drama film The Five Heartbeats. In 1994, Wright scored another major role as Ray Nathan Scuggs in Sugar Hill opposite Wesley Snipes. And that's back when Wesley Snipes was cooking with hot grease. Everything Wesley Snipes was in was really good. So if you got attached to him back in the early 90s, oh yeah, you knew your film was about to be money. And Sugar Hill was good. Wesley Snipes is money. And this gentleman here added his own flavor to that movie. And he was really good in there too. He's got a very distinct look and face. Like, I don't know anybody else that looks like him. You know what? He's kind of given a little, like, a skinnier version of the guy who played Candyman, whose name, I think it's Tony Todd. That's kind of what he's given right here. And let's see. He also appeared in notable films, including Money Talks with Chris Tucker. Do y'all remember him in Money Talks? I don't remember him. Point Blank with Mickey Rourke, and The Interpreter with Nicole Kidman and Sean Penn. So he was in there with some heavy hitters. During his nearly 5-decade career, Wright also landed parts in several popular TV shows such as Oz and the V Series. He's survived by his wife, Susan Wright, along with his daughter and stepchildren. So he did a lot of classic movies, in particular in the Black community, and he will be well remembered and missed. Thank you for all the classics. Thank you for the awesome movies, memories, and thank you for the great one-liners. My condolences go out to his friends and family. Death is never an easy thing to deal with. It's just fortunate that he was on the later end of life and not younger like some of the other people we had to talk about today. Thank you for watching Messy Mondays. We will be back next Monday. We're going to go live as much as possible. We're trying to get monetized before the monetization rules change on YouTube. So support our channel by watching the lives, like the videos, share. Go on to the communities tab. We'd love to talk with you. And if you have not already done so, we would love to have you a part of the Aries crew. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button. Help our family to grow, and then hit that notification bell so you find out every time I go live, post videos, shorts, and all of that good stuff. Have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening.